In this episode, we will be answering some of the questions from our viewers and from Facebook feeds. But first, we'd like you to enjoy our first sale on the Purple Gallinule. The end of January 2021, and we are untying the lines, and we will not be back to this dock. Our motor's running, all our interior cabinetry is fixed, bimini, sails, we're ready to go. Backing out of the canals of Cape Coral.
We're on the Caloosahatchee River as it empties out into Fort Myers Bay. Depths are pretty shallow here, so we're staying within channel and testing out the new sails. Okay, here we are. We are ready with a list of questions that you have sent in. You, our viewers from YouTube, have given us quite a bit to think about. And so we've taken some of your questions, most of what we've received up to this point, and turned them into a Q&A session. So what's our first question?
What is the type and size of your boat? We are sitting here in a 1979 Irwin Citation 34.
Mm-hmm.
She weighs 11,500 pounds, and
sort of a lighter weight boat, I think. For
she draws 4 feet. She originally came with a centerboard below the shallow draft keel, but the previous owner had that
taken out,
permanently made motionless. So
and
non-functional.
And then really the boat doesn't need it because this model came as a keel model in the exact same draft.
Had both a deep keel, shoal keel, and a shoal with centerboard. So now we're just a shoal keel.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, okay. So we have a question. Someone asks, how do you charge the 12-volt bank? I think I can answer that one or start off on that. The 12-volt bank is charged by 2 100-watt solar panels. We have a separate charging system, an MMPT style system that charges those 2 batteries, and they're just deep cycle lead acid batteries, which is originally what we started out with when we bought the boat and installed a basic solar system.
Back when we had a diesel engine, and the diesel was a Yanmar 2GM, 15 horsepower. It was the original engine came with the boat in 1979. but the previous owner and the previous owner before that didn't maintain it. The whole boat sat neglected for about a decade. We don't know exactly.
Well, we think the motor may have been started once a year, once every few months maybe, for 5 or 10 minutes, which is probably the worst thing you can do for a diesel.
Yeah. So we tried to get it running. We hired a mechanic, and it just got more and more expensive, and we just kept finding more and more things that needed fixing. And it got too expensive, and we pulled the plug and said, no more.
So, and it got to the point that we actually thought that we would sell the boat as is and just call it a loss. Yeah. But COVID came along, and we looked at this as a great quarantine project.
And a learning opportunity. Boy, have we been learning.
Yeah, my credit card's been learning. Did you purchase the electric motor system as a kit?
Sort of.
Sort of. Yeah. Well, yeah.
So from Thunderstruck, we got the motor itself, the motor controller,
the Sevcon controller, right?
Yeah.
The charger.
The charger for charging from 110, and the battery BMSs.
And the and the electric vehicle charge controller module.
Yep.
And
also the throttle.
And of course the gearing, the
Yep,
transmission, and the motor. Yeah, of course we said.
So that then the batteries came from a personal source, family source. The company that a family member works for was getting rid of them, so we got a fantastic deal.
Yeah, these are all
48 volt,
150
amp hour lithium MNC 13S batteries.
Yeah, batteries. They are fantastic batteries by All Cell. I can post the link. I'll post the link in this page. But we picked them up for practically nothing, and that sealed the deal for us to actually play with lithium. Otherwise, I think we might not have gone into this.
Okay. Okay. Next question. How did we mount the motor? We used the transmission that Thunderstruck makes, and it was really very easy. It simply bolted onto the
rails?
The fiberglass stringers or rails that the old Yanmar was once attached to. And then 2 diagonal straps going back from that to give it a little more stability.
Yep.
The alignment was easy.
Yeah, we got it right the first time. It was really that simple. Because using the existing rails just meant that the alignment was perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the motor, the transmission, is designed to take a little bit of slop and work with that. Not a problem. We also had to add a fan to the motor.
So we have a fan system, and I have some pictures you're going to take a look at here that show the fan system, which basically provides a directed air onto the Sevcon controller to keep that cool. We also have fan forced air onto the motor itself, and an exhaust fan that pulls all the air out through 4-inch dryer duct hose out
through the transom.
Yep, and we have as well a thermometer, temperature gauge that monitors the temperature in the engine room as well.
We thought about setting up a thermostat so it would automatically come on, but
next boat.
Next boat.
Next boat. Time to go sailing.
Right. What precautions have you taken to mitigate potential water intrusion into the batteries and electronic components? So our motor is directly underneath the cockpit and close to the bilge, like any motor. If we were to get slammed with a huge wave, that could potentially go down into through the cockpit floor and into the motor well, before going out through the regular scuppers back to the sea.
Yeah. Well, the Sevcon itself and the motor can take some water. The charger is supposedly rainproof, splash-proof. So I think they'd be okay.
Yeah.
The electronics are well underneath the companionway threshold, and they're backed by a board, and they're well out of any potential water intrusion.
The batteries themselves are waterproof. They're sealed. They came out of electric vehicles that
saw all kinds of weather.
Winter in Michigan.
Mud and rain, snow, salt.
All sorts of...
yeah.
So the batteries themselves are fine.
Yep.
Plus, the batteries have a proprietary system from Allcell that mitigates runaway heat.
So thermal runaway is not a problem
Yeah.
with these batteries.
In case of it getting wet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, how much did it all cost? Well, I'm going to put in, say that we've probably spent, and it's been adding up over time, the initial Thunderstruck system, plus the batteries, plus everything else we've put in, probably be in the order of about $5,000.
A new EMR would have cost installed about $9,000, so we saved about $4,000.
And we got an education in the process.
Oh, we got an education.
Yeah, so did my credit card. I think I mentioned that before. Can't mention that enough. So, we hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have any more comments, or
Thank you for your questions.
please keep them coming.
Yes, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Like and subscribe if you enjoyed it.
Of course.
See you soon. Bye.